What's up everyone, this is Joey at Bliss Response wrapping up my favorite gear of the year for 2023. This is not just gear that I got or reviewed this year, but it's gear in my studio that I was using a lot and really into. So let's get right into it. First up on the list is the PWM Malevolent. Raw, analog, industrial power is the best way to summarize this synth. It's just a beast. You can distort it, you can modulate it like crazy. It's semi-modular, you can patch it, you can do whatever you want to it and it won't break, it won't collapse, and it won't sound harsh. It's aggressive, gives me vibes of MS-20, Wasp, VCS3, and all those kind of classic early industrial synths used by SPK, Throbbing Gristle, and more. It really does that vibe super well, and I'm super into it. It's being used in a lot of stuff as we speak. Next up is the Instruo CSL. This has taken a workhorse position for me. I'm really impressed with the sound. It's deep, it's aggressive, it's warm, it's fat, it's whatever you want it to be. It's really great, feature packed, and I've been using it a lot in new material that's yet to come. Next up, the 4MS Ensemble Oscillator. This has taken the role of the kind of trippy ambient texture generator for me because it can do all these cool kinds of Shepard tone style sounds, as well as the aggressive FM and wave folding stuff it can do, and detune and all this. I really think it's cool. I love when digital algorithms like this have a lot of control on them, so you can get to the meat of it with your hands and you don't have to spend a lot of time programming. Perfect for me. Next up is the Ensoniq Physmo. Super rare wavetable synth from Ensoniq. Their last hurrah, full knobs for everything, resonant filter, which was rare for Ensoniq. And I think it's cool, it's unique, it sounds like nothing else. And even though I have a lot of wavetable synths in my arsenal, between the Virus TI, the Quantum, the Hydrasynth, and stuff in my modular and other things, and the Push 3, I find that the Physmo occupies a very unique space. It really just does sound like nothing else. And to get the full vibe, of course, you have to have the machine itself. So I've already used it in a lot of stuff, and I'm going to be using it a lot more. Next up is the Twisted Electrons Mega FM and Blast Beats. This is a double entry because I couldn't decide which one to put, but both of them really spoke to me. I like the hands-on control. They're a bit Spartan feature-wise if you compare them to stuff like the Op6 or the Digitone, but what they lack in features they make up for in control. These are the best interfaces for controlling FM synths ever, and because they use the classic Sound Blaster and Sega Genesis chips, you get a sound to them that is just unlike anything else. It's in one way nostalgic and in another way futuristic because you can take these old chips and push them to new places that sound like nothing else. And they're glitchy and cool and fun. Really dig them. Next up on the list is the Hex Inverter and Erica Synths Mind Phaser. If you don't know already, I play with Frontline Assembly, and so it's really cool to see a module named after one of my favorite bands that I also get to play with, and it just sounds so cool. It's a futuristic complex oscillator with through zero phase modulation, and it just sounds incredible. Almost like if a Nord lead was analog, and I mean that in the best way possible. It's perfect for getting those EBM, FM style basses. It's perfect for getting weird futuristic sounds and textures. I imagine it'd be really good in psytrance and other experimental types of music. Of course, I've been using it a lot. It's a recent acquisition for me, so it's not out on anything yet, but it will be because it's already on new stuff. And check out Reese Fulber and IZP Corruption of Form from 2019 on Sonic Groove if you haven't heard that yet. Next up on the list is the Make Noise and Sound Hack Spectraphone. This thing is a game changer, offering something almost nothing else can do in hardware. The only real competitor is the Rossum Panharmonium, and they're so different that this is a very unique thing on its own. Every time Make Noise and Sound Hack put out a module, they knock it out of the park and create something innovative, whether it's the Verb, Morphogene, Mimeophone, Echophone, or Telharmonic. All of these modules innovated and created new sounds and are relevant to this day with interesting things, and the Spectraphone is no different than that. It's so cool. There's so many uses between percussion, leads, pads, weirdness, whatever you want. It can do it all, and it can process anything, which takes it to a whole new level. It really is special. Next up is the Virus TI. This is a workhorse synth for me. I just use it on almost every track in some place, maybe doing the main sound or other sounds. I can highlight a few off the top of my head. For my Dimensional Research album, the track Fourth Dimensional Fragment, that main pad sound is the Virus TI, as well as on my release In Exile, the track Rabid Bass, it is the Rabid Bass. That bass sound is the Virus TI. It sounds amazing. It sounds liquid. It sounds analog if you need it to. It can sound cold and digital. It's a chameleon. The effects are great. The engine is so deep. It is still in the top 5 of deepest synths ever. I would say up until the release of the Quantum, it was the deepest synth ever. I'd throw in the Nord G2, but that's increasingly becoming harder to use as computers progress. So for purely hardware synths, the Virus TI is right up there at the top. Next up on the list is Push 3. I really love Push 3. I don't understand a lot of the criticisms. I'll name my criticism first, which is it needs a macro control mode, so I can control more than one instrument, effect, plugin, whatever at once. Because right now you can only do one thing at a time. Of course, you can plug in a MIDI controller and map it with USB, but I don't feel like doing that. I want to do it all on the machine. It's a big, expensive machine, and I want to comment on that because I see comments calling it overpriced, and I don't understand. If you think about the things you get for $2.5 grand, whatever it is, depending on where you are, you have a fully featured, dedicated Ableton controller that works seamlessly. You have an MPE control surface to control all your other gear with. You have a fully featured MIDI sequencer and CV sequencer, so it can control your modular, it can control all your MIDI gear, it can do it all at once. On top of that, you have an incredibly powerful synth engine with multiple synths that can do analog, virtual, digital FM, wavetable, granular, sampling, physical modeling, drum synthesis, and you have Max for Live expandability, which means it's only going to get more and more synths as time goes on. I would say the only two competitors in power are the Quantum and Iridium and the MPC Live. And just the fact that it has Max for Live alone means that it will completely eclipse both of those on a long enough timeline in features and power. And that to me is incredible for the price. If you just wanted all those types of synthesis, you would have to buy a Quantum or Iridium. How much do they cost? $2 grand and above. So it's slotted right in there for the amount of power that it has. It's incredible. I use it all the time. Sequencing, using sounds, doing everything, being a controller. It's perfect for me. I think it's amazing. Next up on the list, top spot, obviously Rhythm 1.7. It's my favorite drum machine and it just got better. When I think about drum machines and the things I like from them, I always put Rhythm and Machine Drum in the top 2. And Rhythm for me, I've always looked at as a better drum machine and sequencer and performance machine, and Machine Drum I've looked at as a better synthesizer. Now I think the gap is closing. And I say this because the things I miss from the Machine Drum synthesis engine are like the physical modeling drums and the resampling. So of course the Rhythm can't do the live audio buffer resampling that the Machine Drum can, but you have the SD and BD acoustic, which were just added in 1.7, which get in that PI zone enough for me that I don't miss it anymore. And I'm not dissing the Machine Drum at all. It's an incredible machine with a unique sound, but I think the gap has been closed. You also get the SID machine, which takes that out of the mono machine and SID stations exclusivity. So now you have SID sounds, and you get all the other cool features, the new hi-hat lab, the Euclidean sequencer, and all of this sets it apart from all the other drum machines. It can do everything. It can do it all well. It sounds incredible. It sounds good on a PA. I've played the Rhythm in like 30 countries around the world on all kinds of system, from the Berghain club system to Key in Georgia to small clubs in different countries. I played it live in Tokyo. The Rhythm slays on a huge system. I can't stress it enough. It just sounds so massive and so powerful that it's amazing to me. Like, I don't see how anything could be better unless they made a Mark III with even more stuff. This is going to be the best drum machine of all time in my eyes and hopefully in yours. So that's my list for the year. Thanks for all your support this past year. It's been really exciting to see the channel grow and your reception of it, and it just makes me feel awesome to see all your support. It's gone way better than I ever expected it could have, and that means so much to me. It's been a big year for me in terms of releases. Just this year I had 3 out. I had my album Neuroscape, I had my album Dimensional Research with Erica Synths, and then I had In Exile on Ancient Methods label. They're all available now through my Bandcamp and through the Bandcamp of the relevant labels, as well as my project Hawkeye had a cassette out called Digital Threat. That's also available through Megastructure, and my label had out Low End Resorts, the new project from Mahmoud del Castillo of Phoenicia and Nick Forte. Thank you for all the support on the music and the label. All of that's available for you to check out there, as always. If you want to support the channel in other ways, please buy my music. You can check out the affiliate links in the pinned comment and video description. I have links there for Perfect Circuit and other synth retailers in Europe and Asia where you can buy anything through there, whether it's a cable, a synth, or a drum machine. Anything there gives me a kickback. I have an affiliate link for DistroKid as well. I use that service to distribute my own music on iTunes, Spotify, etc. It works super well. So if you sign up through that link, I get a kickback. And I have a new thing with Amazon now. I have an influencer store. So what that is I've made lists of media I find cool and stuff I find cool, like books I like, video games I like, gear I like, and if you buy anything through those links, I'll get a kickback. I'm going to be putting recommendations on there from my favorite pieces of media from over the years, and a lot of this stuff has influenced my music directly, whether it's in the track titles or sound. So if you're looking to have a peek on what's on the inside of my mind, definitely check out those lists. And if you're just looking for new recommendations, that'll be the place to go. I'm going to add more things as time goes on. Again, thank you for your support this year. I have 2 final performances for this year. I'm going to be playing live in Berlin tomorrow night at Kopi for the Kind Crime and Miseria night. Really excited for that. That's a live set. And then on New Year's Eve, I'll be playing in Thessaloniki, Greece with a DJ set. I'm really excited for that. Gig flyers right here. Hope to see you at either one. As always, thanks for tuning in. Happy New Year. I'll see you next year. Peace out.